Hey everybody, Doctor here, and we are back after a few day-long hiatus. I felt like today, I figured some fun would be doing some Vannifar jank slash Bant good stuff. The premise of the deck is we're just going to be trying to cheat out some good cards through the use of a couple copies of Neoform. In this case, sack a creature, search for a card with a CMC of 1 greater, shove that one out. And more reliably, hopefully being able to cheat things out with the Prime Speaker Vannifar. In this case, same premise. You tap her, sacrifice a creature, find it with a CMC of 1 or greater, shove it out. And we're going to be trying to do that with high-value creatures. We're going to be trying to sack our Conclave Cavaliers to leave us with some tokens and getting one of our 5-drops, be it a God Eternal Oketra, a Mesmerizing Benthid, which is a card I don't think I've seen anyone play before. Same thing with like a Tulsimir for some removal. At its worst, we're playing Bant good stuff. So we have some ramp in the form of Llanowar, Incubation Druid. Same thing with our Kiora, which is weird ramp. It's some card draw and whatnot when we play a creature with a 4 power or more, but it allows us to untap a permanent, which can let us ramp up more, and allow us to use Vannifar twice in a single turn, all the fun stuff. Game plan is we just play some high value creatures, deal with whatever our opponent's board is having it be us just slamming a wolf in their face with Tulsimir, locking them down with Deputy, getting hexproof on most of our creatures with Shalai. Fun combo with that being considered is if you get Shalai out, you can use Spark Double as well. In this case, the Shalai that you're copying won't be legendary, you won't have to sack one. Entire board will only be susceptible to sweepers and of course creature damage. But yeah, with that being said, let's give this deck a shot. All that fun stuff. See y'all in the first match. Okay, so we're up against our first opponent, Shiro. Let's see what we are dealing with here. We definitely have a playable hand. Azor's a little bit more expensive than I'd like to see in my start. I'd like to cheat him out. But we can turn one Llanowar into Incubation, into Vannifar. Yeah, depending on how much interaction our opponent has, we have some gas here. Turn one Island, probably holding up an Ugin's Conjurant. Okay, I am not used to seeing that played outside of Limited. On that note, I haven't done any Limited on the channel. I'm hoping at some point, I think there's 36 hours before War of the Spark rotates, and I have enough gold on the second account to buy into 2 drafts. Yeah, I have no idea what this potential artifact shell is looking like with the Obsession and Conjurant, huh? Okay, we're looking at Azorius something. I think our best case here is just use the Knight of Autumn, slow down our ramp a little bit, just to get rid of Curious Obsession. Or I'm an idiot because we don't have white mana, so it actually does look like it's just going to be Incubation Druid. One thing I've been finding with this deck in particular, meaning I think I'm going to have to tweak the mana base, is at least early on, I'm having issues finding the exact mana I need. Which, as soon as you get your Vannifar or anything like that out, mana almost becomes irrelevant to you, and you're more than fine sacking your elves, sacking your druids, but at this point in time, it's definitely not ideal. At this point, they've gotten 2 card draws from Curious Obsession, so it's definitely paid dividends for them. Charting a course. Well, let's see. Doesn't look. They hit their land drop. I only have to worry about Spell Pierce, which means, let's see here. Thankfully, Incubation's one of any color, so what we can do, play whatever we want. Thought that was the case. Oh, any land you could control could produce. I'm an idiot. Yeah, we're still not hitting our white, but at least we can resolve Vannifar. And what we can do, if needed, is we can just sack our Incubation Druid the following turn, just to get rid of Ugin's Conjurant's Curious Obsession. Let's see. Trying to figure what action. Oh, they're proliferate. Okay, this is going to be a proliferate shell. That's kind of cool. This is basically just expensive card draw and proliferate bait. And trip in for 2 in some cases. I can take the 3 right now. I don't want to get combat tricked and lose Vannifar. Because even if they're holding counter magic of some sort at a 2-drop, at least we'll be able to get rid of the Curious Obsession. Let's see, what options do I want to try out here? Getting Cure down would be pretty ideal, so we are definitely going to make sure we tap you. Let's just tap our Llanowar, because there's a decent enough chance we end up sacking them too. Okay, this might be fun. God, I hate Kyora's voice. Let's see, we are going to get rid of Incubation Druid. They might have a dive down or something, so that's why I'm just going to be going for the Knight of Autumn versus the Deputy of Detention. Because if I target that and they just go immune, doesn't matter. But I don't think they'll have protection for the actual Curious Obsession itself. Okay, so he gave his creature hexproof. That's something, huh? Hold up, why did that work? Oh, all permanents you control. I didn't realize that subtext in Lazotep plating. Okay, that's kind of cool. But let's see what we can do here for an idea. What we can do is Knight of Autumn at this point doesn't have much use for it. We don't really have much use for it. We will sack it because it's just a 2/1. And what can we do to deal with it another way, if at all possible? We have our Shalai, which is a good card. Not really going to help us here. Vannifar, legendary rules apply. Nothing great will happen. Bark double. Sadly, don't really want to double anything out currently. So, yeah, I think our best bet might just be getting some kind of bulky creature, just in case they have some proliferate bait. Because at least this way, we can definitely kill whatever they play in the form of a single proliferate with our Cavalier. And if it dies, whatever, we got two tokens out of the deal, which isn't too bad of a trade. And worst case with Conjure It is whatever damage it takes, it loses that many counters, so even if they do get it above, we can still block, and it's not too big of a problem. I'm expecting a trick of some sort here from opponent. Instant speed, proliferate. Oh, indestructible, okay. Well, they're not going to get a card draw out of it, which is something. And a benthic Biomancer. Yeah, this is a proliferate shell, because they're going to be wanting to add counters on counters right now. Especially considering everything they're playing on the board right now has counters. Ah, actually, I'm looking at this. I would have assumed with the creature getting indestruct. No, yeah, it still takes the damage, but it loses counters, so that wasn't a great play for them. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, even then, the only thing keeping it alive right now is the Curious Obsession. Okay. We have our plane, so I'm probably just going to slam the Knight of Autumn. Let's see if it resolves or not. Get rid of our Curious Obsession. Lazotep plating again. Okay, that's getting fun. I'm enjoying my time with that card. I'm really enjoying that. So we are going to do a similar move here. Knight of Autumn. In this case, we're going to be getting another Conclave Cavalier out. Gonna draw us a card. And I actually don't hate just sacking the Cavalier just to hit one of our 5 drops real quick, because at least we go wide on board. And let's see, if we are wide on board, what options do we get? Tolsimir wouldn't be able to target anything. They all have hexproof. Tristani is an easy choice. Benthid is dumb, and I love it, but I don't think it's a card I want to play. I think I'm just going to go with Tristani for now. Just based on how wide we are as is, I think the 1/1 counter we get everything is a little bit better. So we can swing without risk with pretty much anything. I'm not too concerned about ramping anywhere else with Llanowar, so if he just wants to trade, all the better for it. Our tokens here have Vigilance, so they get to swing in without any problems. And we have some life link with these soldier tokens here, so. Opponent's GGing. Okay, good game, opponent. And let's see how we go with our next match. Okay, so we are up against Mr. Nathan Cook. Let's see what we have. We have a Nisa Avatar, a bunch of tapped lands, which is suboptimal, but yeah, I'm greedy. I'm feeling like I can keep this. We're going to hit all of our colors eventually, which is something. Going to have double green as needed. I don't think anything we have needs double blue for at least a little while. And at least we can whip out our Land of War. So now we're going to be playing like we are right on track. Not really ramping, but you're going to have mana we need for some cool things. Like Jade Light, I'm fine to play that. I'd like to hit Dockland at some point here. Do they have a count? Oh, they have an Essence Capture. Okay. Huh. Not gonna lie, when I see a turn 1 Fountain, I don't expect them to be running Essence Capture. Okay. So nothing too intimidating. We're just gonna whip out Fibblethip here. Rock hard. We did find another Jade Light. We have no other plays here. If they're running some variant of mono blue, I should be careful about just swinging creatures in, because they could be running a Trickster. Let's see. They have some instant speed action here, so I'm just going to whip my Fibblethip in. Is it worth doing anything to him? Don't know. They might have counter magic, but let's just get it out of the way here. Devious Cover-Up. Okay. What is opponent playing here? Because this is not something I'm used to seeing. As we have the open mana, I'm fine with just sacking Fibblethip. We have a Knight of Autumn, so at its worst right now, it can just be a pretty beefy 3-drop, being a 4-3. Our holding mana again. They could very easily be sitting on another counter. They don't have enough to sack, or open to sack a Memorial to Genius. I think I'm just going to try to slam a Knight of Autumn. I'd rather that get countered than Rollisk. They're going to let that resolve at least for now. I don't think it's worth destroying Fountain of Renewal. So we're just going to get a relatively beefy-ish Knight and go from there. Okay, so they were just sitting in Chemist's Insight potentially. Let's see. Now here's the thing, when you're dealing with anything mono blue, you want them to tap out, but they never do. So same thing, we're still running on basically Guild Gates, which is always fun. I love it. It's a great time. At least we're going to be hitting for some decent damage here, depending on what they have for tricks. Yeah, I hate not playing anything, because they're just going to Chemist's Insight again, I believe. Ain't that right, opponent? Ah, they're blinking our Knight of Autumn. Well, I'm glad we at least got the swing off with it. Makes me think they do have a counter open, or else they would have done that on the attack step. And I'm in the same boat. I'm more than fine with them countering their tap land. Okay. Our Knight of Autumn. If not, also okay with that. If they want this just to live life, resolve, have a great time. Nothing we really need to ramp into anymore, and we can hit basically anything we top deck into. So even if we're just poking them down, even if they're going to get another Chemist's off, or they're going to sack a Memorial, we'll see how this pans out. Okay, well, let's see what we're dealing with here. I've gotten quite a bit of work out of their fountain. Sorry, fountains now. Let's see. They will do anything if we swing in with our board here. They said, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe we don't attack with the Land of War, because I think that will let us do Kiora and Rollisk. Now let's see, do they counter Kiora here? Not yet, okay. I'm okay with that, man. You hold on to your counters, you get ready to sack your Memorials, you do what you gotta do. You have another bounce? They have to be holding onto a counter, because they're just letting this Knight of Autumn hit them for 4 for no reason otherwise. Hitting all the land drops. They got a Terramander out, which they will be able to adapt. Let's see what we have for options here. We'll try to resolve Night of Autumn again. Same boat, we can put some more counters on it. They do have the mana to adapt Terramander, but we can handle that decently well. I think I might just try to slam down, not Tristani, Roalesque. Yeah, I think I try to slam Roalesque here, see how that goes. If it resolves, cool. I have a blocker in the air that can get proliferate off on a bunch of creatures on the board. Okay, so they had adapt mana. They still hold 3 blue up, so they potentially have a counter. Ah, and an essence capture. Cool, okay. I can dig that. So we definitely have options. We have Deputy. If Deputy, ideally Deputy resolves, but I'll still try to bait out a counter on Tristani first. I'm not too concerned with actively using Kiora right now, so I'm fine with them swinging at her. We will do here. We will play Tristani, see if they have a counter up. There we go, Disdainful Stroke. They definitely have counter mana again, but I would love it if they didn't have other counter available. That's a good sign. They still technically have counter mana up. Ah, shit, they have a Quench, okay. The frustrating thing is we could have played around Quench, but didn't think that was going to be an issue I had to deal with. So we are just going to play our first shock land. This swing for the face, as far as on a clock is concerned, I would say it's in our favor, but with the double Fountain of Renewal, it's definitely keeping them up a little bit. I think they've easily gained 13 life with what they've had on the board as is. It looks like they're holding back for blockers, or no, it looks like they must have a trick or something of the sort.
Don't miss me too much.
Okay, yeah, they definitely have mana to adapt that for free. Ah, man, if only we had that Deputy resolved. That would have been great, because then I could just spark doubled it and everything would have been fine. I think I need to go fishing here. Fishing for something that I can Neoform the Fibblethip. Because then I can Neoform, resolve an actual Deputy, and hit both Terramanders. That's kind of what I'm fishing for. Yeah, that's definitely not ideal. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. How many Fibblethips can we have out on the board here? At this point, I don't see us turning this one around, but at least I can have fun with it, getting this weird, gross blue boy out. Another breeding pool. Not quite what I was looking for, not gonna lie to you guys. No point in swinging. He has the adapt mana open. It'll just die. So what do we have that can save us here? Ideally, we could top deck into a Deputy. That goes without getting countered, but based on how many cards in hand, I don't know how likely that is to be the case. Same thing goes, we could pull... Yeah, I think we're locked into Neoform or our Deputy, which... Let's see, I think we will have... I think there's one Deputy left in there. And 2 Neoforms. So I think we're dealing with like an 8% chance to draw what we needed. I don't know why he didn't adapt. Yeah, we didn't get it, so we're just going to scoop here. Good game, opponent. Okay, now this is probably going to be my last game tonight because I am bagged and wanted to get something out before I went too long without doing a video. Okay, let's see what my options are here. It's a 2-lander. We can play Llanowar. A fun thing we can do is play Llanowar and then sack it with Neoform to get the... forgot the name, but we'd shove a counter on it and could tap for 3 mana, which would be great. Can't play Llanowar turn 1, which is a bummer and slows down everything. I think I'm just going to mulligan this. Well, let's see how this goes. I don't like mulling down to 5, and we can see what... Okay, as far as the opponent's concerned, we might be Simic, but... Here's where it starts, I suppose. Ideally, we hit a plains at some point, but this will let us play our Kiora, it'll let us play our Vannifar. It'll give us options to play quite a few different cards. And we're just going to try to get Pibblethip down now just to get the card draw out of him. And we do have access to a 3-drop by sacking him if needed, so. But we might want to hold Deputy for, or not Deputy, Neoform for a different card. I stand corrected. I do not want Azcanta to live at all, so what I am going to do here, swing in with my boy. Neoform him. We're going to use him to pull out a Knight of Autumn. And use that to destroy target artifact or enchantment vis-a-vis search for Azcanta. And now that we don't have anything to do with 3 mana, it lets us get our breeding pool intapped. Next turn we have options. We can either just use Kiora, Deputy if they have anything too scary, but let's see, they're playing something that's going to be very colorful. Now, how silly do we want to be here? Because in this turn, we can attack Kiora and Neoform. That's fun. I think I want to do that. One thing I'm pretty bad at is forgetting to actually attack with the creatures that I can attack with before sacking. Let's see. We're going to submit this one here. Now, what do we want against this weird multicolored, strange jank that I know nothing about? I'm a fan of Shalai. Let's just get Shalai out sooner than later. And of course, because it entered in with that 1 counter, so if it's a 4/5, we were able to get the card draw off Kiora, which is always good, even if it's just a forest. They're playing the Wanderer, which makes me think they're running a combo deck of some sort. Bummer being that 1 counter actually made it so the Wanderer was able to remove us. And this will let us slam our Benthed. See this animation? Octopi. Again, I don't think I've ever seen that animation in game. I don't think our opponent's ever seen this card, but not for nothing, it's hexproof at least, so the Wanderer won't be able to downtick. As long as we have these illusion tokens up. Now they could very well sweep the board. That'll kill it, of course. Opponent has technically any color of mana open to them. The Wanderer is often used to combo with Command the Dread Horde. Let's see if that's going to be the case here. If I can avoid them getting that off, that would be ideal. Because that lets them basically whip as many permanents from the graveyard and just pay their life to whip them out on the board. The Wanderer makes it so that you can't take non-combat damage. So, as you can see, that could be problematic. Let's see, what would I want to do? So, I could... This seems suboptimal, but I don't think they're going to be playing creature heavy. Deputy the Wizard, get rid of the Wanderer, and I'm really scared of this card, because if they can get the combo to work, I won't be too keen on that. That's just going to die. Always nice to see. Get rid of the Wanderer here. Don't let them dig in their graveyard for anything.
I must return to my training.
And let's see, is there anything we can do with 4? No. But next turn, we will have the option to play Oketra, and then whatever we draw, if it's something cheaper, to ideally get a zombie token or something to sort with it. Okay, so they are bottoming a Teferi, because I don't think they have anything proper to protect it. Or more likely than not, they have a Command the Dread Horde, and they're going to use that to just whip everything out of the graveyard they can. My Fibblethip, Knight of Autumn, their Teferi, their Wanderer. If they pulled everything, they would be taking 5, 9, 11, 12, 14 damage. And Narset comes out.
I know 88 ways to defeat. Keep an open mind.
Getting a Teferi Time Raveler. Okay, this is fun. I mean, I can appreciate what the guy's doing. Super Friends is cool. That wipes the board almost. It gets rid of its hexproof, which is the real bummer here. So let's see. We're not really going to be targeting anything. So that's whatever. I'm not too concerned with Kesmina living at 1 loyalty. Narset does suck to deal with because she stops us from drawing cards, which isn't the big deal, but it'll let them try it again to fetch for another card. So I'd like to stop that if I can.
You are a mighty warrior.
And let's
I
see,
concede.
now that they are tapped out, what we can actually get away with now that we have Oketra resolved. Again, they can still die to board wipes and removal, but they recur. They come back in a few turns. We got a Teferi, who very well might just bounce our Oketra here.
Let's slow this down.
There we go, so he bounces Oketra. That's the one thing I don't like about Oketra, though, is just 1 power short of doing what I want it to do. Of course, they don't have enough mana to do anything. This might be the incorrect choice, because they can just start ticking up with Teferi. Because Mina's basically dead for now, but we don't do too many crazy things at instant speed with our build as it is. Okay, so if the board stays empty, we have 10 damage on board, because we have double strike here, so that would... Yeah, if we play this Crawl Harpooner and they don't have interaction, we have lethal next turn because of the token we generate. Because of the token, of course, we also get the card draw from Kiora, so... Oketra is just delayed. Just a little bit of delayed coolness. Now, do they have an answer? Board wipes suck for us. The only thing we recur is Oketra. Single target removal's annoying, but doesn't really take us out of the game. No, that's it. We won. Okay, you know what? That's going to be the last video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll try to get back to daily or at least every other day, but just been a little overwhelmed with work. But not for nothing, I will probably try to bang out at least a couple drafts before War for the Spark rank draft's over, because I don't know. I don't really feel like drafting too much out of Dominaria, a set that's rotating in the next set drop. But yeah, for now I'm Dr. Rhett. Catch y'all next time. Bye for now, everybody!